I do what I can with what I got.
I do what I can with what I got.
And now it is time for another poop joke.
I am
Poop jokes.
an alien.
Many of the origin stories that humans have written, including the origin story written by scientists, say that we all emerged from one source.
He said emerged.
And when I say all, I mean everything.
1, 2.
Cutting edge of poop joke technology.
The Travelin' Trav's Trans-Rational Blues. You can only see yourself in me.
And I have certainly seen myself in you.
Altered 5 chords are portals back home to the tonic where you may or may not find the expected resolution.
Ew, like I was pooped out. Poop jokes.
What do you think about this idea that toilet paper is just a construct of modern society, which is actually just keeping us from our true self?
Poop jokes.
I remember when my kids were little, all you have to do is say the word poop and they lose their shit. Insert laugh track here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This came from Portales, New Mexico, where I got to interview Janice and Lynette, and I got to spend some time at Ron and Joanne's house. Just some good domestic time, cooking and eating. I'm reading a book now called The End of Education by a guy named Neil Postman. It was a real pleasant surprise to find this book. I got it for 25 cents at Consigning Women in Portales. Thanks, Janice, for the lovely colors and these sunsets that you shared with us. I am now here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, connecting with Simple Truth again, Steve and Carla. I was looking for a library this morning, and what I encountered along the lines of suffering and homelessness and despair in the streets of Albuquerque was profound. An old friend reached out to me today and surprisingly asked me about my opinion on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm going to read this to you, and you can tell me, please help me to understand the bigger picture. I am not currently following closely any of the politics up top. Surface knowledge. Kennedy speaks a language of unification. I like that, but I'm not sure if I can ever believe that. I'm not sure that it's possible on large scales. He appears to be thoughtful and intelligent and willing to even change his stance in response to education and experience. Poetically speaking, what an interesting possibility that this Kennedy could be a symbol of a restoration of the hope that we may have lost with the murders of MLK Jr., Malcolm X, Bobby Kennedy, and the death of the 1960s revolution. It's interesting that you are asking me, because the term civic participation has been ringing in my ears. Democracy, equality, compassionate justice, etc. These stories, myths, narratives are all part of our lives as Americans. It seems apparent to me that we need to discover our common work together. Civic participation is one way to bring us together. Is it possible that Kennedy is an alternative to the anti-establishment narrative that Trump's character seems to use to his advantage right now? As I mentioned before, I am not truly a student of current American politics. I am interested in civic participation, but it is very difficult for me to believe that the vote of a citizen counts for anything. I am a generalist. It seems to me that history repeats itself with alterations in the details. I'm not so interested in the details outside of what they can show us about ourselves as an awakening species. Big picture. I believe that our future lies in small groups of people discovering their innate worth and then sharing that realization with individuals and other small groups. Grassroots revolution. It appears to me that our empire is in its death throes and that all the powerful players up top are merely illusory puppets with no real say whatsoever. It would be great if I am wrong. I don't know. What do you think about all this? I've tried to stay away from stuff like this in the past on my channel, just speak in very general terms about ideas that seem to be, proliferated over cross-culturally. So, speaking about politics is not something I'm really even qualified to do. But I notice I used the word interesting a couple of times, and from what I understand, interesting is a non-word. It doesn't really mean anything. Speaking of the return of the king, here's a Viggo Mortensen movie called Captain Fantastic. It's where I got this idea of the word interesting being a non-word. It's an interesting movie. Take a watch. As humanity leaned into the 20th century, we thought we knew just about everything we could know about physics. Way back in the 1600s, Isaac Newton wrote a book that took us to the moon. Then, our realization of the quantum realm showed us how little we actually knew. The deeper we looked into the realm of the unfathomably small, the more our cause-effect perception of reality was disturbed.
I wonder, will there be a story in tomorrow's paper that my mother will read? A yet unidentified guitar player was bitten by a serpent on the rocks, by the road, by the...
Toilet paper considered technology? I mean, who was the first person who discovered, hey, we could wipe our butts with these leaves? And then there's just a great progression of human consciousness around ass wiping, I'm sure. You know, just a lot of, there's Jonathan Haidt talks about this 5-pillared moral foundations theory. It's like a rational, scientific way of comprehending our morality, and sanctity and degradation is one of those, or sanctity and uncleanliness or something. You know, just it's like a purity codes, and that these purity codes began with, you know, trying to protect ourselves from illness, and it's one of the 5 pillars of the moral foundations theory, so that we can kind of understand why it is that, well, his book, The Righteous Mind, why good people are divided by religion and politics. It's a pretty cool rational framework for understanding morality.
I learned a few things from the lessons I taught. I earned a few scars in the battles I fought. I broke a few rules, sometimes I got caught. I've seen a few twists in my life's plot. I'd like to be perfect, but alas, I am not. I just do what I can with what I got.
Cool is officially a non-word, man. You gotta, when you're approaching the word cool, just take a step back, man. Take a step back from the word cool and find something else to say.
Yeah, this poop joke been brought to you by viewers just like you. Come on.
And now it is time for another poop joke. I do what I can with what I got.
I just do what I can with what
I've got poop jokes. I'll tell you exactly what I've got. I've got this poop joke right here. It's what I have for you. Got it. You want it? It's right here in my hand. I'm stretching it out towards you. Got to just give you this.
I walk around every day trying to remain calm and collected, superficially sane. I follow the rules for love's holy sake. I try to give a bit more than I have to take. I'd like to be perfect, but alas, I am not. I just do what I can with what I got.
Just one for the road. Go ahead. Check it. There's no skin off my nose.
I do what I can with what I got. I think that my life should make more sense. I feel ashamed to ride this fence on this side, then that one day to the next, trying to keep words and deeds in the right context. So I grit my teeth, I clench my fist, I bite my tongue while you twist my wrist. 1 minute I'm crazy and the next it's you. You wish I was more, well I wish that too. I resent my weakness, I fear my pain. I'm trying to make myself stable with the broken cane. Some people have worried and they told me so. I just do what I do, 'cause that's what I know. What I know. What I know. It's all I know. I learned a few things from the lessons I taught. I earned a few scars in the battles I fought. I broke a few rules, sometimes I've got caught. I've seen a few twists in my life's plot. I'd like to be perfect, but alas, I am not. I just do what I can with what I got. I just do what I can with what I got. I do what I can with what I used to fear that everyone could see the violent storms blowing inside of me. I fear who I am and who I am not, so I just do what I can with what I got. I just
to you with
do what I can
all feelings.
what I
Please,
Take what I have to offer. It's not much. It's just a poop joke.
What I
I do what I can with what I got. Come on.
So we'll rearrange the living room and you'll make eggplant parmesan. We'll lay down in bed at night and our lives will go on. Things will never be perfect, so you know what? Let's just do what we can with what we got. We'll do what we can with what we got. Do what we can with what we got.